you're saying in your statement, this was a really strong set of numbers. Still loss-making, but much smaller loss. How you...
It's not a real loss from like financial perspective, because it's all warrant related. So we have warrants because we did a SPAC, and warrants are held as a liability, right? And so when you account, we have an operating profit and then a loss because of the warrants. So from the business perspective, we didn't lose any money.
And an adjusted EBITDA that's showing margin, that's improving.
I mean, we did very well on EBITDA, 42%, which I think is really healthy, and we're investing in the business at the same time. So,
and where are you investing? Because you do talk about your product roadmap, the fact that you're bringing 2 key products to bear, a lot of technical innovation when it comes to the chat part as well.
Yeah, so that was a really big launch for us. We launched a new chat architecture. People would lose chats every time they switched phones before, and there was a huge complaint. So it's not going to happen anymore because chats were hosted locally on your device, so we moved away from that. We are, when I joined, we didn't really have a long-term product roadmap. We spent a lot of time last year working on that. We believe there's huge extension opportunities for the product, extending it into dating, building feature set to support dating, and do that not in terms of what other people do today, but what dating world will look like in 2 years when AI...
And what does that look like?
Well, AI is going to be first, right? Like, I think people will expect that social networks will actually drive connections through AI rather than through filtering. Because today, the dating platforms haven't really fundamentally changed. It's you come to a page and then you filter what you're interested in. I think that's going to really change.
So you're going to be pushed to people because the AI can already understand your
Exactly, either from activity that you do on the app or even activity from the outside the app, right? Like, there's so much information in your text messages about who you are, what you're into. What if there's a world where you uploaded a bunch of your text messages and we use that to understand who you are? I'm not necessarily saying we're going to do that, but those are the kinds of things I think that AI will allow companies like us to do. And so we don't have a broad dating-specific feature set today. We have a lot of dating that happens in the app through conversations and chat, but not in terms of like features for dating specifically. And so as we build that out, I think there's a huge opportunity to kind of skip over the world we're in today and go directly to the world that will be coming in a couple of years.
What's interesting is, of course, that means that you have to have a lot of your community buy-in to that. From a security perspective, and I know that at the moment in the UK, for example, you have been sued because of what you claim is a mischaracterization of the way that you were running the businesses practiced 4 years ago. But when there is a concern about privacy, how do you push that forward?
So 2 things. One is, for us, privacy is paramount. In 60 countries around the world, being gay is illegal. And we have users in most of those countries. And so we need to really protect our user privacy because it's not just a matter of like good for business, it's a matter of their life and death in some respect. And so we take that really, really seriously, and we do a lot to protect user privacy. That's why you can get on Grindr without giving a photo, for example. You don't have the verification to support user privacy. Secondly, we've never shared any HIV or medical information with any advertiser ever, so that's a complete mischaracterization of what Grindr doesn't do. We've never done that, and we never will. So we're going to fight that lawsuit, obviously, very vigorously, because we don't think it has merit. But it's also important to remember that whatever they're saying might have happened, which is not true, they're claiming happened a long time ago, 2 managements ago. So this is a very different regime at Grindr today than was under Chinese ownership in 2018. So, I think that's an important thing as well. I think users have to trust us. That's really important for us, and that's why we make privacy such a big deal at the company.
I wish we had longer, but we've got about 30 seconds. One thing, you are hiring again?
We are. We've grown our Inch team about 50% in the last quarter, and we have a lot of roles open across the company.